You guys are doing so super. I'm really proud of you. You just finished a unit on civil rights, and there were several words and terms that you learned, vocabulary words that you learned. So word scientists, I'm going to teach you a few things about just a couple of those words, okay? One of the words you had when you were studying your civil rights was this word. What's the word, everybody?
Boycott.
Boycott is a verb. Can we add our suffix er or or to this word? What would that word sound like?
Boycotter.
Boycotter, right. Who were the boycotters that you studied in Montgomery? Think in your mind. Think in your mind. What would be a sentence you could use to express what you learned using the word boycotter? Turn and share with your partner.
Rosa Parks was a famous boycotter in the Montgomery bus boycott.
Okay. All right. Thanks, boys and girls. I'm going to tell you something pretty fun about boycott, because there's actually one thing about words, word scientists, I didn't tell you, is that words have a history. They have an etymology. The origin, or where this word boycott came from, it's a man's name, Mr. Boycott. And he lived in Ireland in the 1800s. And he was a landlord who refused to lower the rent for people. And people got so angry that they refused to rent from him. They boycotted renting from him. They called it the boycott, but it was his name. And ever since the 1800s, that word boycott, we've used it whenever somebody protests, right? And they won't support a process or a person that is not fitting what need the rules, or fitting the need of the people. Boycott. Okay. You know these words, right? Are there common morphemes in these words?
Yes.
What's one of the common morphemes they all share?
Shun.
They all say shun at the end. That makes them a noun. That means all those words are nouns. Okay, or a state of is what it means. Do you see something else that's all the same? Yeah. Grega. Grega. Into gray, right there. That means a flock or a herd, a group together. And it was originally used to talk about animals. So a flock of sheep or a flock of horses is what that means. Or a group of people, okay? So when we segregate, SE means apart. So we take apart the flock or the group. Can you imagine? Can you fit that in with what you learned? Mm-hmm. Yeah. What about D? It means apart or taking apart the group. So desegregate is to bring them back together. Very nice. So all of these words have something to do with a group of people when we're talking about civil rights, right? Okay, good. One more word that has a pretty interesting understanding of it when we look at the morphemes. What is this word?
Prejudice.
Prejudice. You know what this word means? You do know what it means. Let's look at the morphemes. To do before, and this means judge. So when you are prejudiced, when a person is prejudiced, they prejudge. They prejudge people, right? When you're prejudiced. Hi. Welcome. So even every day, you will learn new words. Word scientists. You know that words have phonemes, which are a little bit of sound. You know words have spellings, which are made up of graphemes, a little bit of writing for those sounds. And all words have morphemes, the meaningful forms, the parts of a word that have meaning, right? So I want to know if you will be curious about words. What does that word mean? Where did it come from? What are the meaningful parts? What's the base in that word? Ask those kinds of questions, and with your teacher, really work to develop your abilities of being word scientists.